and his laws, and keep his laws, his instructions, like I say, rules and regulations. His teachings. His directives to show us what direction to go, the path, the way. His codes that's going to lead us to everlasting life. But here we are. Most I told us that, but what do? Daniel 9:11. Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law. And all is a certain number. Have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, from Deuteronomy 28:16-68. And the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. We sinned against the Most High. When he told us, observe his statutes and his laws. And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem. And that's real. It's like void. It's desolate. It's a desolation. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us. Yet made we not our prayer before the Most High our power, that we might turn from our iniquities, that we might turn from our wickedness. Still want to do the same thing you've been doing and think the Most High ain't going to deal with you. And understand thy truth, understand thy law. Because Psalms 119:142 says, thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness. Psalms 119:142. And thy law is the truth. See what it said? Yet may we not our prayer before the Most High, our power, that we might turn from our iniquities, that we may repent and turn from our wickedness and doing the wrong things before the eyes of the Most High, sinning, and understand thy truth. Understand the Most High's laws. Therefore have the Most High watched upon the evil. He watched upon the evil, because he made the evil for those that don't want to do what he said do. You want to do evil, so he brought evil upon us. Therefore hath the Most High watched upon the evil and brought it upon us. For the Most High our power is righteous in all his works which he doeth, for we obey not his voice. See. And now, this Daniel, and now, hear what he's saying, O Most High, our power, that has brought thy people forth out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand, boasted on the Most High. And that mighty hand was a Mashiach Yahushua, as an angel or a spirit of the Most High. And have gotten thee renown, gotten him a name, as at this day, as this day. We have sinned, look at what it says, we have sinned, we again, as Ezra did, we have sinned, we have done wickedly, even though Daniel was a righteous man. You better hear the word of the Most High. What works? What's marvelous in the eyes of the Most High? Look, go to Daniel 1:4. Children in whom was no blemish, but well favored and skillful in all wisdom and cunning in knowledge and understanding, science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans, right? And the king appointed them a daily provision of king's meat, of the wine which he drank, so nourishing them 3 years, that at the end thereof they might stand before the king. So he gave them his food. But he want these children to come before him to be trained and be masters, you know. Certain children of Israel and of the king's seed and other princes, right? And the king appointed them a daily provision of the king's meat and of the wine which he drank, so nourishing them 3 years, children, that at the end thereof they might stand before the king. Do it for 3 years, he said. Now among these were of the children of Judah, the Israelites, the children of Judah, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, unto whom the prince of the eunuch gave names, for he gave unto Daniel the name of Belteshazzar, and to Hananiah of Shadrach, and Mishael of Meshach, and to Azariah of Abednego. See? But Daniel purposed in his heart and his mind that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat. We have a dietary law in Leviticus 11 chapter. Nor with the wine which he drank, nor with the wine that he drank. 3 years. Therefore, he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. See? Therefore, he was righteous. Now the Most High had brought Daniel into favor and tender love with the prince of the eunuchs. See? It tells you, when a man's ways please the Most High, he making even his enemies to be at peace with him. That's what you see here. And the prince of the eunuchs said unto Daniel, I fear my master the king, who have appointed your meat and your drink. For why should he see your faces worse liking than the children of which are of your sort? Then shall you make me endanger my head to the king. You're going to cut my head off. If you see your faces all messed up because you ain't taking in the meal that he demanded that all the children should take in. Then said Daniel to Melzar, the eunuch, whom the prince of the eunuchs had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat and water to drink. Then let our countenances be looked upon before thee, and the countenance of the children that eat of the portion of the king's meat, and as thou seest, deal with thy servants. Said, you see, let us eat this pulse to eat and the water to drink, and then put us together. The children is drinking that wine and the king's meat, and see who looks the best. So we can send it to them in this matter and prove them 10 days. Not 3 years, but just 10 days. At the end of 10 days, their conscience appeared fair and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. Thus Melzar took away the portion of their meat and the wine that they should drink, and gave them pulse. See? As for these 4 children, the Most High gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. See? So, just showing you that Daniel, who the book is written concerned, and his companions, they were righteous. But look what they said. But those that have ears that hear. In Daniel's 9 and 15. And now, O Most High, our power, that has brought thy people forth out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand, and have gotten thee renowned, bragging on and boasting on the Most High. as at this day, we have sinned. Is that the same thing that Ezra was saying? This is marvelous in the eyes of the Most High. We have sinned. We, including himself, who was a righteous man, have done wickedly. Verse 16. O Most High, according to all thy righteousness, I beseech thee, because everything the Most High do is righteous. He said, I beseech thee, I'm begging of you, let thine anger and thy fury be turned away from thy city Jerusalem, thy holy mountain, because for our sins, he was a righteous man. That's why the book is written of him. He said, because of our sins, including himself, with the sins of the wicked, because of our sins, and for the iniquities of our fathers, our forefathers, Jerusalem and thy people, your people, are become a reproach to all that are about us. Now therefore, O our power, hear the prayer of thy servant and his supplications. That's him crying out to the Most High. And cause thy face to shine upon thy sanctuary that is desolate for the Most High's sake. Over and over again. Daniel going into Babylonian captivity under King Nebuchadnezzar. And the Most High say gonna make our sanctuary, our land desolate, and it is desolate to this day. Verse 18, O my power, incline thine ear, hear us, and hear. Open thine eyes, and behold our desolations. Desolations all the way back then, all the way to now. And behold our desolations, and the city which is called by thy name, Yashar'Allah. For we do not present our supplications before thee for our righteousness, but for thy great mercies. See, let you know, see what he said? I'm not presenting this cry unto you, this prayer of crying to you because of our righteousness, because of our righteousness, including himself, even though he is righteous. But he's crying to him that the Most High will have mercy. His mercies will be upon us as a people. It's not about no individuals, it's about us as a people. It ain't about no one congregation, no camp, no this, that, and the third. We are a nation. He's crying out for the whole nation when it's only Daniel and his 3 companions. But he's crying out to the Most High for the nation, including himself, as doing wicked deeds, even though he's righteous. Verse 19, O Most High, hear. This is humility. O Most High, forgive. O Most High, hearken and do. Defer not for thine own sake. O my power, for thy city and thy people are called by thy name. Hear what he's saying? Called by the name of the Most High. Because he always said, hey, it ain't for your sake, Israel. See, for my name's sake. So he's giving them solutions that works. And whilst I was speaking and praying and confessing my sin and the sin of my people Israel, you hear this? He's crying out to the Most High. He's confessing his sin and the sins of the people of Israel, we the 12 tribes of Israel, and presenting my supplication, his cry before the Most High, my power, for the holy mountain of my power. Yeah, while I was speaking in prayer, even the man Gabriel, whom I had seen in the vision at the beginning, being caused to fly swiftly, touched me about the time of evening oblation. And he informed me and talked with me and said, O Daniel, I am now come forth to give thee skill and understanding. The angel Gabriel. At the beginning of thy supplications, at the beginning of Daniel crying in prayer to the Most High, the commandment came forth. Because the Most High ain't never had pity on us until we cried to him. You can't cry to him, you don't have humility. You can't go to the Most High in pride. Most High is a consuming fire. And you know all the ways of the heart, the minds. Verse 23, at the beginning of thy supplications, the commandment came forth, and I have come to show thee that thou art greatly beloved. Hear that? Told down, he's greatly beloved. Therefore understand the matter and consider the vision. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city, to finish the transgression, and to make an end of sins, and to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. These 70 weeks represent 70 years. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the prince shall be 7 weeks, and 62 weeks. The street shall be built again, and the wall, even in troublous times. So you know that we're going to be able to go back to Jerusalem. By the time of Mashiach Yahushua come back, by the time he come back, we in the Roman Empire. And after 62 weeks, score is 20, 60 and 2 weeks, which is what? 60 and 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. And the end thereof shall be with a flood, and unto the end of the war, desolations are determined. We fell, we fought from, once he died, then in 65, he died approximately, we'll say 29 AD, in 65 AD to 70 AD, we fought with the Romans, and we fell in the last battle of Masada, and I'll have footage for you soon to show you the actual Masada and the mountain of dirt that they built up, get up to the entrance of Masada, top of a high mountain. That he's saying right here. Desolation are determined. You'll see the desolation determined. The last battle of Masada. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice of the oblation to cease, and for the overspreading of abomination he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. See? So he let you know that's prophecy, what's going to happen. And it happened. And you'll see the ruins of how the Most High did a job on us, on our land. Go to Isaiah 24 and 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Why? Because they have transgressed the laws. So when you hear somebody say we ain't under the Most High's laws, he tell you that the earth is defiled under the habits thereof. Why? Because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinances, broken the everlasting covenant. See? Broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. See. Now you know, He's going to purify this earth with fire. Saying few men. That's why I say the few. The all which is a certain number. Many, which is of that few. 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel, and a remnant of the nations. Everybody can be burned up. That's what he say. They're going to be burned. We'll take a rocket science to understand that. Go to Ezekiel, the 43rd chapter. Ezekiel 43. So we got to go through these prophets to show about the Most High's laws. Mashiach HaShai comes to restore the law. Look at Isaiah 43:1. Concerning the Most High's glory. As I've told you many a times, represents Mashiach HaShai as the Spirit of the Most High, as the angel of the Most High. Listen, verse 1. After he brought me to the gate, even the gate that looked toward the east. The gate that looked toward the east. And behold, the glory of the Most High of Israel came from the way of the east. The glory of the Most High of Israel. Not the Most High himself, but the glory of the Most High of Israel came from the way of the east. And his voice was like a noise of many waters. And the earth shined with his glory. So his voice was like the noise of many waters. Right? Let's look at Revelations 1:15. And his feet, talking about Mashiach HaShai, verse 13, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man. That's Mashiach HaShai, verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass driven with brown. I got some brass right here. Driven with brown. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace. Well, I can't turn it over, that incense in it. But inside that burnt brass is very, very dark, dark, dark. So his feet like unto fine brass, as if this brass burned in a furnace. Listen, and his voice as the sound of many waters. See, I'm here to preach something because it's the same sound of the voice that we're reading about in Ezekiel 43rd chapter. He that have ears to hear, let him hear. So here we see in verse 2 of Ezekiel 43rd chapter. And behold, the glory of the Most High of Israel. The glory of the Most High of Israel came from the way of the east, and his voice was like a noise of many waters. And the earth shined with his glory. See? The earth was shining with his glory. The glory of the Most High. The angel of the Most High, the Spirit of the Most High, Mashiach HaShai. Look at Revelation 14. Revelation 14:1. And I looked, and lo, a Lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 having his Father's name written in their foreheads, in their minds. Most High name written in their minds. But you see, a lamb stood on Mount Zion. And we know this in Mashiach Yahushua as the Lamb of the Most High. We must understand this. I mean, that's why I say you can understand through the precept. So if you don't know that he represents the Lamb of the Most High when you see that, because he was the ultimate sacrifice for the atonement of our sins. Look at St. John. Hope that gets St. John the 1st chapter and the 36th verse. St. John the 1st chapter, the 36th verse. And looking upon Yahushua as he walked, he said, "Behold the Lamb of the Most High." So now here we are in Revelations 14, tell you that Mashiach Yahushua is the Lamb of the Most High. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, that's 144,000 men, 12,000 from each of the tribes of Israel that you read about in Revelation 7, chapter the 4th verse to the 8th verse. 144,000. 12,000 from each of the tribes of Israel, having his father's name written in his forehead, in their foreheads, in their minds. Verse 2, listen closely. And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters. There it is again. Representing Mashiach Yahushua. And as the voice of a great thunder, and I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. The most I love is the piano, or the harp. The harp is turned horizontal, becomes, they put keys on the end of a harp, that's the piano. So going back to Ezekiel 43. In verse 2. And behold, the glory of the Most High of Israel came from the way of the east. And his voice was like a noise of many waters. And the earth shined with his glory. See? His voice as the sound of many waters, had a strong voice. So you know he went out into the sea and talked to the people on the shoreline. What kind of voice you think he had? Very strong voice. That's what kind of voice he had. Can you imagine that? He didn't have no microphone, he didn't have no amplified, nothing. He just went out there and spoke to him. Wow. And he was in the ship, so you know he had to be so far out in the water so the ship wouldn't bottom out. So all you that want somebody to be all gentle, got to speak all soft and can't deal with a man's strong voice, something wrong with you. Look. Ezekiel 43. In verse 4. And the glory of the Most High came into the house by the way of the gate, whose prospect is toward the east. So the Spirit took me up. That you know, the glory of the Most High is the Spirit of the Most High, the same Spirit that we read about in Genesis, the 1st chapter, the 2nd verse. Same Spirit we read about, that we just read about in Genesis, 1st chapter, 26th verse. Let us go down and make man in our image and our likeness. Same Spirit of the Most High. The Lamb of the Most High, but he's a spirit here. In spirit form. Most High made him first. He allowed Mashiach Yahushua to make everything else, as it is written. So the Spirit took me up, verse 5, and brought me into the inner court, and behold, the glory of the Most High filled the house. See, the glory of the Most High filled the house. And I heard him speaking unto me out of the house, and the man stood by me. And the man stood by me. And he said unto me, Son of man, place the place of my throne and the place of the soles of my feet, where I will dwell in the midst of the children of Israel forever. And my holy name shall the house of Israel no more defile. Get that? Say, we're not going to defile the Most High's, Mashekashah's name no more. Neither they nor their kings by their whoredoms, nor by the carcasses of their kings in their high places, nor by the dead bodies of the kings in the high places that they made these groves and things to set up in idolatry to worship, have our people worshiping. In their setting of their threshold by my thresholds, in their posts by my posts, in the wall between me and them, they have even defiled my holy name by their abominations that they have committed. Wherefore I have consumed them in mine anger. They're going to set their idols right next to the Most High's. Things that he had for us to worship him in. Now let them put away their whoredoms and the carcasses of their kings far from me, and I will dwell in the midst of them forever. Put it away. See, we Mashiachim. 1 Corinthians 3:23. For ye are Mashiachim, ye are the Messiahs, and the Messiahs is the Most High. See, thou son of man, show the house of thou son of man, Ezekiel, show the house to the house of Israel. Show this house to the house of Israel. Who live in the house? Family of Israel. Because families live in houses. Hip talk. That they may be ashamed of their iniquities. Say, show it to them. They may be ashamed of our wickedness and our evil and our breaking of the Most High's laws, his rules and regulations. And let them measure the pattern. Verse 11, check it out. And if they be ashamed of all that they have done, we repent and be ashamed of all that we have done, show them the form of the house and the fashion thereof, and the goings out thereof, and the comings in thereof, and all the forms thereof, and all the ordinances thereof, and all the forms thereof, and all the laws thereof. See? All the laws of the Most High thereof that we're supposed to follow, his rules and regulations, and write it in their sight. Say, write it in front of them, in front of us, that they may keep the whole form thereof, and all the ordinances thereof, and do them. See, he's not deviated. This is the law of the house. Up on the top of the mountain, the whole limit thereof round about shall be most holy. Behold, this is the law of the house. See, we have rules and regulations that the Most High always gave us. But he said, hey, you don't be ashamed for all the wickedness and the evil that we've done against him and not following him, then there's his anger. His wrath is coming. You can't cry to him whenever he done told you what to do. Clear instructions. The Most High's glory. Which a lot of people can't relate to because they can't see on my Sheikh Rashad. He told us he come in the volume of the book is written of him. He told you this. We read it. It's been read. And others read it, but they don't take heed to what is being said here. St. John 1:18. Say, no man, St. John 1:18, no man have seen the Most High at any time. So you see they saw God, they ain't see the Most High. No man have seen the Most High at any time. Oh, Moses seen him, put him in a rock and, no. No man have seen the Most High at any time. How do we visualize him? The only begotten Son. That's key. The only begotten Son. You know, John 3:16, everybody know that scripture. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. That whosoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. No man has seen the Most High at any time. The only begotten Son of Mashiach Yahushua, which is in the bosom of the Father, he hath declared him. See, that can go over your head. But Mashiach Yahushua is declaring him as the Spirit of the Most High, as the angel of the Most High. Where we see him? Right here. In the volume of the book. Look at Ezekiel 44. And Ezekiel 44 and verse 4. Then brought he me the way of the north gate before the house, and I looked, and behold, the glory of the Most High filled the house of the Most High, and I fell upon my face. So this glory of the Most High is representing the Most High, who is the angel of the Most High, the Spirit of the Most High, who we just read, the only begotten Son, who's in the bosom of the Father. He hath declared him. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. And eyes to see, let him see. He that is spiritual, let him see the spiritual context of what's being said as the glory of the Most High. Verse 5. And the Most High said unto me, how the Most High speaking to him? By the glory of the Most High. Son of man, mark well, and behold with thine eyes, because you can see Ezekiel, and hear with thine ears, you can hear Ezekiel, all that I say unto thee concerning all the ordinances of the house of the Most High, and all the laws thereof, and mark well the entering in of the house with every going forth of the sanctuary. Make sure you watch the entering in of the house and every going forth of the sanctuary. But he's telling you. And all the laws thereof, you gotta follow them. And thou shalt say to the rebellious, even to the house of Israel, hear that? And thou shalt say to the rebellious, those that don't want to do right, they want to be rebellious against the Most High, even to the house of Israel. You talk about nobody else but the family of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. Thus said the Most High power, O ye house of Israel, let it suffice you. Let it satisfy you of all your abominations. In a year brought into my sanctuary strangers, uncircumcised in heart, and uncircumcised in flesh, to be in my sanctuary, to pollute it. You hear that? Better understand this, people. It's clear. He called them rebellious. So you brought into his house strangers. Strangers. Uncircumcised in heart, uncircumcised in their mind, the way they think is off concerning the Most High's rules and regulations, his laws. And uncircumcised in flesh, they stroll them not circumcised. That's important. To be in my sanctuary, to pollute it. Let you know that's polluting it. Even my house, when you offer my bread, the fat and the blood, and they have broken my covenant because of all your abominations, because of all your filthy, wicked acts that you're doing against the Most High. When you tell you here, brought strangers into the sanctuary, different nations. And ye have not kept the charge of mine holy things, but ye have set keepers of my charge in my sanctuary for yourselves, doing whatever you want to do, contrary to what Most High told you to do. Thus said the Most High Power, no stranger, uncircumcised in heart, nor uncircumcised in flesh, shall enter into my sanctuary, or any stranger that is among the children of Israel. Strangers. There's all these other nations, I'm letting you know. And even those among the children of Israel, he's saying. And the Levites that are gone away far from me, when Israel went astray, went away from keeping the laws of the Most High, which went astray away from me after their idols, they shall even bear their iniquity. See, I'm going to deal with them. I'm going to punish them. They're going to bear their wickedness, their sin. Yet they shall be ministers in my sanctuary, having charge at the gates of the house, and ministering to the house. They shall slay the burnt offering and the sacrifice for the people, and they shall stand before them to minister unto them, because they ministered unto them before their idols. You imagine that? And they have idols that they have enshrined in little glass fixtures and so forth that we, as the Israelites, served. Idols, bowing down to idols. When we got the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the power of powers, and we're going to dismiss that power and choose some other kind of madness. We say because they ministered unto them before their idols and caused the house of Israel to fall into iniquity. Caused the house of Israel, rooted us out of the land and made the land desolation everywhere. Therefore I have lifted up my hand against them, said the Most High Power. This is against us, the children of Israel. And they shall bear their iniquity, going to bear the sins that we have done against the Most High. They shall not come near unto me to do the office of a priest unto me, nor to come near to any of my holy things in the most holy place. But they shall bear their shame and their abominations which they have committed. And I will make them keepers of the charge of the house for all the service thereof, and for all that shall be done therein. See, the Most High gave us clear commandments of how we were to live to please Him, and we chose another way, the wrong way, over and over again. Over and over again. That's why you're reading about us. We in captivity. Ezekiel 44 and verse 24. And in controversy they shall stand in judgment, and they shall judge it according to my judgments, and they shall keep my laws. Hear that? We're going to keep the laws and my statutes in all mine assemblies, and they shall hallow my Sabbaths. See that? He said we shall hallow His Sabbaths. It's the Most High Sabbaths. To consecrate, sanctify, prepare, dedicate. Be hallowed, holy. To separate ourselves from the world on His holy day, His Sabbath, is what it says. And they shall hallow my Sabbaths. Set apart this day, the seventh day of the week. Consecrated within our spirit to the Most High. And when you keep doing it, you become majestic before the Most High. Who cares about what man thinks? Say, such men fear the eyes of men. You got to fear the eyes of the Most High. That's 10,000 times brighter than the sun. You honor this Sabbath. This is his holy day. Hallow my Sabbath, he's saying. To show ourselves sacred and majestic before the Most High. Who cares about what man thinks? It's about us being holy before the Most High. And as you be holy before the Most High on his hallowed Sabbath day, you will be honored and treated in majesty. But if you don't believe it, then keep on thinking the way you think. That's why it says Ecclesiasticus 3:24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion has overthrown their judgment. You got to dedicate your life to this before the Most High. And you will be honored by him. Because you say this is his day. You're giving glory to him. You just say one day. He wants to be consecrated, set apart, holy unto the Most High. Verse 25, and they shall come at no dead person to defile themselves, but for the father, or for a mother, or for a son, or for a daughter, for brother, or for a sister that have no sister that have no husband, they may defile themselves. So then you know the priest says, and they shall come at no dead person to defile themselves, but for a father, that's your father, or for a mother, or for a son, or for a daughter, for a brother, or for a sister that had no husband. The sister cannot have a husband. And you can go before her if she died. They may defile themselves. After he is cleansed, they shall reckon him to him 7 days. Once he's clean, they'll reckon him 7 days. And in the day that he go up into the sanctuary, unto the inner court, to minister in the sanctuary, he shall offer his sin offering, said the Most High Power. It shall be unto them for an inheritance. I am their inheritance. And ye shall give them no possession in Israel. I am their possession. The Levites, the priests. They didn't have any possession or inheritance of land. They were all mingled among the children of Israel to bring forth the law to the Most High to the people, to the 12 tribes of Israel. So they had all the rest of the 12 tribes, or 11 tribes, had an obligation to take care of the Levites, that's the priests. But it's tell you, like I said, those are ordinances that's the law of the Most High to the priests. Look at Daniel 7, the 7th chapter, Daniel 7:25. Daniel the 7th chapter. It's a great chapter, you know, in depth of what would happen during the time of the different kingdoms coming into power on this earth. And look at Daniel 7 and verse 23. Daniel 7 and verse 23. Very key. It says, Daniel 7:23. Thus he saith, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. So this fourth beast equal Roman Empire / America. He devoured the whole earth. Rome's only conquered the known world at that time. America has conquered the whole earth. They everywhere got their missionaries and their little places of reference, or that you can go to in all countries. They're the police of the earth. And shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down, and break it in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. See, that's them 10 kings, 10 common markets. EEC, the European Economic Community, they call it NATO today. They try and change it, but it's initially 10. That's why they call it the European Economic Community or the European Community. Known as NATO today too. Another rise, Antiochus Epiphanes / America. So, verse 25, we concentrate on this verse. And he shall speak great words against the Most High. He'll speak great words against the Most High. Like a Mashiach Yahushua, what they call Jesus Christ, is white. Can't deny it because they got, here it is. Matter of fact, I got him right near. You can't deny it because here he is right here. Oh yeah, I'm going to keep putting it in your face. You'll see. A man named Caesar Borgia. Caesar Borgia, the second son of Pope Alexander VI of Rome, Rodrigo Borgia. And the Borgia family. 5 people in that picture. See? He's going to speak great words against the Most High. Mashiach Yahushua white. Most High is white. All the apostles and all the Israelites are so-called white. Angels are white. Children of the Most High, now called what? Niggas, Negroes, spooks, pinks, wetbacks, savages. I forgot what Hillary Clinton called us. Predators. Yeah. West was the direction. Indians, Puerto Ricans, Bridgeport, etc., etc. You know, gonna change times and laws. Change times and laws. They start at 12 midnight.